Hello, Panther families. I'm Tanisha St. Austin, principal of Miller Creek.
And I'm Derek Lisi. I'm the assistant principal at Miller Creek.
We are so excited to welcome you to the Panther family. This video is intended for parents, but students can watch along. There's a separate video just for future Panthers that we encourage them to watch as well. We are looking forward to meeting all of you soon. We understand that we are living through an unprecedented times, but still want to take the opportunity to share how amazing our program is here at Miller Creek. Throughout the video, you will hear from several key representatives of our Panther community, so be sure to watch all the way through the end. I would like to start by stating that at Miller Creek, we're a family. Being family doesn't mean that you don't have conflict or that you always get it right, but being family means that you are willing to come together during challenging times and that you're able to listen to someone else's perspective. At Miller Creek, we have a value that we live by, and that is we are stronger together. A few things that parents should be reminded of is that middle school is a very special time in one's life. The person you send us in sixth grade is going to be developmentally different in the eighth grade. And we look forward to that because the developmental state of an 11 to 14-year-old are really different. We value at Miller Creek a focus on both academics and social emotional achievement and development. So during your time with us, you will see that our programs and activities emphasize the importance of both of those strands in the development of a young child or emerging teenager. With that said, we appreciate your attention and we appreciate your partnership. At this time, I would like to turn it over to one of our soon-to-be graduating eighth graders to share some of her thoughts about her time here at Miller Creek. Giselle Rodas, thank you.
Welcome, fifth grade parents. My name is Giselle, and I am currently an eighth grade student. My time at Miller Creek has been wonderful. Miller Creek has been a huge help for me. When I was in fifth grade, I remember feeling terrified of starting middle school. I was going through a hard time after my brother passed, and I didn't want to leave Vallecito because I was so supported there, and it meant so much to me during a very difficult time for my family. I was scared of leaving my friends and family at Vallecito. I didn't want to leave my school, but I knew I had to graduate and move on to middle school. When I arrived to Miller Creek, it was a huge school, and I was a bit overwhelmed. I remember thinking at first, I just want to go home, and I miss my friends from elementary school. However, there was something about Miller Creek I didn't see yet. I realized Miller Creek was going to be a fun adventure. After a while, I loved Miller Creek. Friends and teachers and web leaders helped me with everything. The best part of Miller Creek is that everyone has someone to talk to. Our beloved counselors are always trustworthy. You can tell them everything and they will never share it with anyone. Thanks to Miller Creek, I am not the same person I was when I entered. A few of my favorite memories so far have been when I was in sixth grade. It was beach day. It was so fun. I went on the zip line and I loved it. Another great memory was earlier this year when my learning center teacher decided I didn't need the program anymore. I thanked all my teachers for all the help they've given me. My advice for incoming sixth graders is never to make yourself feel peer pressured because it will have a great impact on you. I've learned so much academically, but I've also learned so much on being a better person. The best part of Miller Creek is its community. Miller Creek has a strong and beautiful community. I will sure miss Miller Creek when I graduate. Good luck to all incoming sixth graders. I assure you that your students will have an amazing time at Miller Creek. Thank you. And now we're going to hear more about our beloved Vice Principal, Mr. Lisi.
All right, thank you so much, Giselle. Definitely wise words. So we really appreciate you coming to speak today. I'm going to take a moment just to give a little bit of what a typical day would look like for your sixth grader. By the time students are in fifth grade in elementary school, parents have a really uh, comprehensive understanding of what the day looks like for their elementary student. In fifth grade, students have one, sometimes two teachers. And then they come to Miller Creek where they have a number of different teachers, 7-period day and passing periods. And so I'm going to do a kind of a quick rundown of what that day would look like. And rest assured, it might seem confusing. It might seem like a lot, but your student within a few days will have this down pat. And if they don't, the sixth grade teachers at the beginning of the year are fantastic and flexible about letting students slide in a little bit late if they got lost or things like that. So nothing to worry about. So let's take a look right now. And so one of the things that you're going to notice is that students have a 2-period language arts block, and we call that a core because it's partnered with a social studies block as well. In sixth grade, the core class is 2 periods of language arts and 1 period of social studies, often with the same teacher. This is a lot of time together, and part of the reason that we do this is to really help ground and orient the students in kind of a community setting, going from 1 to 2 teachers in elementary school to a 7-period day with multiple teachers in middle school. So they get to know that class and that teacher really well. It also so it's a large chunk of the day. Essentially, it's 3 periods of the 7 throughout the day. All students have a 3-period core class in sixth grade. That moves to 2 periods in 7th and 8th grade, and it frees up 1 period for an additional elective, which we can talk about a little bit later. So this student, for example, has language arts first and second period with the same teacher. They usually get a little stretch break in between. And then third period for all students is where they'll either take a music class, one of our music classes that they're familiar with from the elementary, typically, choir, band, or orchestra, or they'll participate in the elective wheel, which gives a little bit of a taste of a variety of electives that they can then take as a year-long course in 7th and 8th grade. And those classes are art, drama, Spanish, and a new one next year that is a makers or an applied science elective. Some students also use that third period to attend a learning center and meet with their learning specialist. And then after third period, we have a break. Every student at Miller Creek has a morning break where they can get a snack from their locker. We do sell healthy food from the Creek Cafe, including some muffins, really small mini burritos, and a variety of things. It's pretty popular. And then after break, this particular student would go then to their social studies class, which is their third period of their core. And this student and all sixth graders will have science as well. This student has it 5th period, so that's why it says homeroom next to it. Science is not necessarily a student's homeroom. Their 5th period for all students is their homeroom. And homeroom is another great place where students build community. They get to listen to the daily bulletin that is a highlight of the happenings across campus. Twice a week, we have a video bulletin that our digital creation and production classes put together. And this is where students additionally will participate in homeroom games and activities and do a variety of tasks as a class to compete against the other classes. And we recognize a winner at the end of every month at our spirit assemblies. Then we move into lunch. Everyone has 15 minutes to eat lunch. And then after the 15-minute bell, students can go out to the blacktop and play basketball or intramurals, or to the field. They can go read in the library or work on some homework. Students have the option of continuing to eat. They don't have to eat only in 15 minutes, but we do make them kind of sit down and have lunch before they can go on to other things. So if they're still eating after the 15-minute bell, they're welcome to hang out, and many students just hang out and relax and talk. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have something called study hall, and study hall is a 25-minute chunk of time where students are able to go to any class that they have on their schedule. So they can go connect with a teacher, get a little additional help, maybe do some test corrections for their math test, make up an assignment because they were out for a day, things like that. And that happens Tuesdays and Thursdays. This student has math, 6th period. All 6th graders get math. And then 7th period is fairly unique, and for 6th grade only. The PE requirements are a little bit different in 6th grade. So students go to PE for 2 weeks, and then they have 2 weeks off of PE, and then they go for 2 weeks and 2 weeks off. And that pattern continues throughout the entire year. When they're not in PE, they are in one of 2 classes. For the first half of the year, they may be in a Quest, which is our social emotional learning curriculum. And then the students who had Quest the first half of the year then take a technology class the second half, and vice versa. If they had technology at the beginning, they would go to Quest. And that's what happens. We flip back and forth between that and PE. In our technology class, students get used to using the Google Suite, and they get really familiar and with our technology that we use here at school. There's assignments about how do you address a teacher in an email, how do you put together presentations, etc. So that is a typical day at Miller Creek Middle School. And if some of you are having questions about the actual courses and the descriptions, please look for a document that we are going to be sending out. Historically, if we were in the Miller Creek gym right now all together, we'd have a hard copy for you, but instead we're going to be sending a packet out that is titled Miller Creek Highlights and Course Descriptions. It has more in-depth information on all the courses, as well as intramurals, communication tools like School Loop, and other things such as service organizations and student leadership. It's a really good resource, so look for that soon. So that was a lot. Feel free to rewind when you're watching the video. And now I'm gonna turn it over to a current 6th grader who's been a fantastic Panther this year, and he has been very involved. And now we're gonna hear from Eric Hoff. All right, Eric.
Hi, my name is Eric Hoff, and I'm currently in 6th grade and really like it. Miller Creek Middle School has so much to offer, including lunchtime clubs, fun electives of your choice, very supportive teachers, and much more. I remember at the end of 5th grade, I started to think about 6th grade and middle school. I felt so worried because of everything you read in fictional books about middle school, but all that changed once I got to Miller Creek. I realized that almost everyone has been feeling this way, and that I was not alone. I made friends, I felt supported by my web leader, and all of my teachers. My advice for all new incoming 6th graders would be try your best and have an open mind about trying new things. Parents, don't worry. Your kids will love Miller Creek Middle School just like I do. And now here's one of our teachers at Miller Creek, Ms. Trevette.
Hi everyone, my name's Karen Trevette, and I want to let you know that every teacher has specific expectations to help students learn, but all teachers want every student to succeed. So we want to remember that as we're going forward with all these new teachers in this new situation. Encourage your child to email or talk to his or her teacher. You can help them think about what they want to say, but letting them take the lead really helps them to bond in this new situation with all of these wonderful teachers. Celebrate taking risks. Encourage your child to join a club, ask a question in class, talk to somebody new. It's a great time to kind of reinvent yourself. Relax, parents, and enjoy. This is a really special time. I want to let you know that some of the things that you might be worried about will be taken care of in the front office. Ms. Clark and Ms. McGinnis are just the best secretaries ever. They take care of so much. Rubber bands for braces? Check. Forgotten lunch? Check. Bad day? Check, check. Yeah, they'll talk your kid through it. And they're really there to help. And they're there to help both the kids and the parents. There are so many people who go above and beyond at Miller Creek. So I'm a math teacher at Miller Creek, and it's a wonderful place for me. I'm also a former Panther parent. And my daughter Liz is going into her senior year at TL, and she will always remember Ms. Morse, who encouraged her to be a leader, Ms. Miller, who taught her how to write well, and many other teachers and people at Miller Creek who truly helped to form her into a person that she hadn't known before Miller Creek. I have to tell you, I truly envy you, because you are about to begin a wonderful journey here at Miller Creek. And now here is Ashley Marty and Cheryl Jacobs, our wonderful counselors.
Some technical difficulties? Okay, are we live?
Okay, welcome. Are you ready for me? Okay, welcome future Panther families. I'm Cheryl Jacobs, and I'm one of Miller Creek school counselors. I've worked at a middle school for 20 years, and I love this age, and I especially love 6th grade. It's my favorite year. In fact, I started my career as a 6th grade teacher, and I've been a counselor at Miller Creek for over 13 years. Ashley, who you'll meet in a moment, and I are so excited to welcome your students here in the fall. This will be an amazing time of social, emotional, and metacognitive growth. To help build relationships with you and your students, Ashley and I split the 6th grade by last name, and we will support your families for the 3 years you are here at Miller Creek. Middle school counseling is unique, as it differs from what you may have experienced at the elementary school and maybe your own memories of your high school counselor. At Miller Creek Middle School, we have a comprehensive counseling program that provides support to students for social, emotional, and academic needs. Most students during their 3 years at Miller Creek will need help from an adult at some point. And we do our best to make ourselves accessible and available for all students to see us. We think of it as creating an invisible safety net, creating a sense of belonging and connection to support students and families during this transition to middle school. Lastly, feelings run really big in middle school. You may have a lot of questions about how your child describes an experience during class, or how things are going with their group of friends. Remember, we are part of your team. We partner with you to support your 6th grader. You're not alone in this. Please partner with us, and we can work together through all of the big feelings in middle school. We can't wait to be part of these memorable years with you. Ashley?
Thank you, Cheryl. I just wanted to talk briefly about your child's development over these next few years. And you heard Karen Trevette briefly talk about it as well too. But I really wanted to talk about the adolescent development. That's right, I said it, adolescent. Your child is into those years. So as you can see here, kids in middle school, they need new opportunities and challenges to allow their brain to make those new connections. And there really are two main goals of adolescence. You can see the first one there, and that is to establish one's own unique identity. So we're going to see this by how they make sense of the world, how they make and keep new friendships. We're going to see this in how they take risks. That might be risks of new clothing, new friends, maybe new activities. But what that means for us is, as our job is to help them do this safely. We need to allow them opportunities to take those risks, but we still need to create and maintain those safe boundaries for them. The second goal you can see there is gaining their own independence from their primary caregivers, which is most of you out there. And we want to allow our teens to practice these pro-social behaviors. And again, Ms. Trevette talked about it briefly. One example of doing this is allowing your child to gain independence by communicating with their teacher on their own, and that might be sending their own email. This also means allowing them to make their own hangouts. No more play dates, but hangouts, right? And really what we want to do is, we want to begin to be their coach. In elementary school, we may be served as their managers, really helping them out with things. In middle school, though, we move from manager to coach, helping them work through their problems, not solving it for them, helping them guide their decisions. And again, so they can take these risks and practice that independence in a safe environment. And at school, we also help do that for them as well. Also, too, I just want to briefly talk about those safety nets we have at school, and one of those awesome programs. I know both Eric and Giselle mentioned it, and that is our WEB program. WEB stands for Where Everyone Belongs, and that is a year-long program that every sixth grader is in. You don't have to do anything, everyone's automatically in it, and it's a year-long mentorship program. So that is where our 8th grade student leaders mentor our 6th graders. They get to help answer questions, do activities, just really be there for them. What we're gonna do is, or what they really do is they highlight our stronger together mentality here at Miller Creek. They're really there to be that sense of community. So you'll hear more about WEB, hopefully for us as the new school year begins. But on behalf of Cheryl and I, we just want to say we look forward to partnering with all of you out there. And we really look forward to welcoming your 6th graders next year. All right, I am now going to pass it off to Jen Belair.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Jen Belair. I am the current Home and School Club president at Mary Silvera, and I will be the incoming HSC president at Miller Creek next year. Right now, I have a 6th grader, Bailey, and I have a 5th grader, Avery. So I'm going through this 5th grade journey with all of you, and I also have a kindergartner. And I'm excited for next year. Normally, I would be announcing things like the Web Day barbecue and the Fall Family Social. Obviously, we don't know what any of that looks like right now, but I promise to do my very best to make it a super special year for all the kids. And I invite all of you to connect with us. And I know how much we all want to reconnect with each other. And it's a great opportunity for you to stay involved in your kids' lives and see what their experience is going to look like at Miller Creek. So specifically, we are looking for a treasurer and a secretary. And we would love to have a 6th grade rep from each one of the schools. So if you're interested in any volunteering opportunity, if you could send me an email, that would be great. My email is jennreyy@yahoo.com. And I really look forward to hearing from anybody who's excited about being involved. And I guess I will send it back to Tanisha to wrap things up.
Miss Tate, I think you're muted.
That would make sense. We're working it out together, guys. Okay, here I am. Thank you so much. Thanks for everyone on the panel. Panther parents, I hope this was helpful information for your family. In this email, there were several other links that you should become acquainted with. So please take a look at each link as they provide additional information that we may not have covered in this recording. Things like electives, also one of the links that Mr. Lisi referred to earlier with the highlights of Miller Creek. So please take a look at that. Again, we're so looking forward to partnering with you for the next 3 years. Always remember 2 things. I say this to the students. Always remember 2 things. 1, we are stronger together. And 2, every day is a great day to be a Panther. We look forward to meeting you in the fall. Stay safe, stay healthy. Go Panthers. Bye-bye.
Bye. Go Panthers.